Why are there no middle-aged fangirl YouTubers? Keep watching if you want to find out the 5 reasons I think that that's so. Hi, I am Christine, the middle-aged fangirl. I have or have had depressive disorder, generalized anxiety disorder, and complex post-traumatic stress disorder. And it was film and fandom that helped me survive. I talk about how films and TV shows helped me deal with mental illness and the amazing benefits of the community of fandom. If this sounds interesting, please consider subscribing and hit the red subscribe button below. We're looking for people who make YouTube videos about any aspect of fandom. Reviews, analysis, vlogs, cosplay how-tos, basically anything to do with fandom. And in the course of doing our research, I discovered I could not find a single other middle-aged YouTuber who did fandom. Now that might not sound earth-shattering because it's such a specific niche, but consider that 300 hours of video is uploaded to YouTube every minute, and it's the 3rd most visited website in the entire world. I couldn't find anywhere how many beauty YouTubers there are, but it's gotta be in the thousands, and they're almost all women under 30. Now, it's certainly possible that there are middle-aged fangirls out there, and they just didn't show up in my Google search for one reason or another. But it's still going to be a really small number. I know why I think this is, and I asked a couple of friends and acquaintances what they thought. And if you have a theory as to why there are so few middle-aged fangirl YouTubers, please put a comment down below. When I asked my friends and acquaintances why they thought this was so, they pretty much gave the reasons I already knew, although they had some interesting angles. Now, these are not in any order of importance or what percentage I think this is the cause for. They're just grouped into 2. There's 5 total. The first 3 are what I call generational differences, while the last 2 are more problematic and have more to do with cultural prejudices and stereotypes. First reason, they just don't watch YouTube. Now, as someone who watches YouTube all the time, I actually didn't realize that there are a large number of people not who only don't watch it, but never consider watching it. They weren't raised with it, so it just never dawns on them. As one friend said, when I'm looking for something to do, watching YouTube just doesn't even come up on my mental list. Now, this is a pretty straightforward reason. It's no different than using forks when we eat instead of chopsticks because we just happen to be raised in a culture that uses forks instead of chopsticks. Nothing unusual there. Reason 2 is that they're not comfortable using the technology, which is a little bit different than not being in the habit of watching it. The generation that's currently in their 20s had digital video through high school. They were on video, they took videos, they watched videos, and they had setups in their bedroom computers where they could edit video. For a lot of older people, it's a skill they never learned, and not knowing how to do something always makes it a bit daunting. But if you've already been doing it or already been editing videos on your home computer, you just do it. Reason 3 is that my generation are just more private people than the ones that grew up having social media. The people in their 20s are comfortable posting their lives online. My generation, in contrast, were raised to be private. Not only were we told not to air our dirty laundry in public, but it was almost shameful for people to know anything negative about you. Only good things were shared with friends and extended family. I won this award, I got accepted into this college. The bad things that happened weren't really publicized. This was one of the biggest issues I had to deal with when I started making videos. It was only when my desire to help people became stronger than my need to be private that I really said, okay, I have to do this. Now, the fourth reason is where we get into cultural prejudice and stereotypes. And it's the area where we can actually work to make some change happen. Reason number 4 is that middle-aged women do not see themselves represented in media. So they think they can't be on media, or that there's some reason that it's bad for them to be seen in media. This is especially true in genre film and television. It's not as much that we're stereotyped even, it's that we don't exist. Normal middle-aged women do not exist in genre television. And if you say, well, the same can be said of men, I would disagree, and I would give you these reasons. Take a show like Supernatural, which is in its 13th season. Yes, the leads are unusually good-looking, but the supporting actors and the semi-regulars have included some normal middle-aged guys. Curtis Armstrong as Metatron, and the actor who plays Donatello, whose name I can't remember. And when you watch a world in which you don't exist, you begin to think, well, maybe I shouldn't be in public. Now, the 5th reason is that geekdom, fandom, isn't really an approved space for middle-aged women. Older women are expected to like florals and do crafts and watch the Hallmark Channel. They certainly do not go see superhero movies or stand in line overnight waiting for the new Star Wars installment. They don't read comic books, they don't go to conventions, and they don't watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer. There's behavior that's accepted for middle-aged women, and then there's the behavior where someone will say, really, that's an interesting hobby. And what they're really thinking is, what sort of emotional or psychological problems do you have? I'm not saying that women who like florals and the Hallmark Channel are bowing to peer pressure. And I'm also not saying that there's anything wrong with those things. They're wonderful. What I am saying is that there's more variety in what any demographic enjoys doing than what people would have you believe. And you have every right to do what you enjoy and not apologize for it. The thing is, the only way that things will get better, the only way that women will be more represented in genre film and television, the only way that it will be okay to say, I dressed up as Ursula the Sea Witch and went to a fan convention, is if people are open about doing it. Don't be shameful about things you love if there's nothing shameful about them. Even if you're by nature a private person, this is not pressure to put yourself out there. It's simply a urging to not be ashamed of it. So there are my 5 reasons that there are no middle-aged fangirl YouTubers. What do you think? What reasons do you think? Do you agree with the ones I have, or do you disagree with one? Please let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, if it made you smile just a little bit, please subscribe. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, it made you smile just a little bit, please consider subscribing. And please share this video, especially with people you think might benefit from it or might be going through something, because film and fandom are good for the soul.